Hey, and welcome to Board of Life News for February 17th. Today I'm going to talk about Mainframe, The Great Western Trail, Star Trek Panic, Jorvik, and the Kickstarter for Apocalypse World 2nd Edition. Let's get to it. Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome to Board of Life News. Board of Life, the series, Season 2, premieres Monday after next, so February 29th, which is less than 2 weeks away, which is absolutely crazy. We've been working on this thing for like 2 years. It's been an absolute labor of love. We're really excited for you guys to see it, and we really hope you like it. Okay, on to board game news. Fantasy Flight Games announced Android Mainframe. This is a fast-playing strategy board game for 2 to 4 players set in the Android universe, which is where Android Netrunner is set. I apologize, my cat is playing with the thing over there, so you're probably going to hear the noise, but whatever, I'm going to push through it. It's set in the Netrunner universe, which is really cool, or I guess Netrunner is set in the Android universe. So it's a cool cyberpunk universe. In the game, there's going to be 6 different runners you can play as. I've always thought Android was a really cool world. I like cyberpunk stuff a lot, so I'm excited to see it get expanded with this. Eggert Spield and Stronghold Games have announced a strategic partnership, which basically means they're going to share games, which they've already sort of been doing, but I guess they'll be doing more. One of those games is going to be Western Trail, which is by Alexander Pfister. I'm really excited about this because Alexander Pfister was probably the best designer of last year, in my opinion. Broom Service, Isle of Skye, Mombasa, Oh My Goods. He just had a crazy good output of really interesting, unique games that range from kind of light to like medium heavy. This is going to be a game about herding cattle, obviously, and he said it's a little bit lighter than Mombasa, so it's probably like a solid medium Euro game. So I'm very excited about this because that guy's been on fire lately. USAopoly has announced Star Trek Panic, which is obviously the Star Trek license mixed with Castle Panic, the game from Fireside Games. In this game, you're going to be defending the Enterprise from attack. It's also going to have mission cards based on the original series, as well as player cards like Kirk and Spock. So it sounds like it's going to be original Star Trek mixed with Castle Panic. So that's okay, I guess. It's just kind of probably pasting an IP on top of a pre-existing game, but it's a pretty good game, so that's all right. We got news of a sort of new game from Stefan Feld. It's actually a reimagining. It's Jorvik, which is basically Die Speicherstadt, plus its very hard to find expansion, Kai Speicher, which I'm very excited about because I think Die Speicherstadt is one of the most underrated or underplayed Feld games, and it's a really interesting kind of worker placement auction game that's pretty unique, but it kind of has a boring theme where you're like storing crates of goods in Speicherstadt, I guess. So this is going to have a Viking theme, which will hopefully make it a little bit more enticing to other players. I'm excited. I've never gotten to play Kai Speicherstadt, Kai Speicher, the expansion to Speicherstadt. Man, I'm saying Erstadt's a lot, but it's supposed to be a really, really good expansion, but it's super hard to find. It's going for like $100 on the BGG marketplace. So the fact that this is going to basically include that expansion is really exciting to me, and you guys know I love Feld, so I'm excited about this one. The Kickstarter for this week is Apocalypse World 2nd Edition. Apocalypse World is a really, really good indie RPG. That and Burning Wheel are probably the two kind of biggest systems that indie RPGs are using these days. I guess Fate Core as well, but one of the really big systems. We've actually been doing a playthrough that has been on pause for quite a while over on the Houses and Humans channel. If you're interested to hear how this game plays, it's very interesting. We like it a lot. In the 2nd edition, they've streamlined some rules. They've added new battle moves and threat maps, stuff like that. I'm excited about it. Even if you're not interested in indie RPGs and you only like Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or whatever, Apocalypse World is the best written kind of how to dungeon master guide I've read. The Vincent Baker, the author, has some really good ideas on DMing and tips and tricks you can use to kind of add a lot of life without a lot of work to your campaign. So I highly recommend the book, even if you're just going to read it for that. We've been big fans of that. It is $28 right now on Kickstarter, so if that sounds interesting to you, go back it. All right, that's the news for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube. New episode of the Ravenloft podcast coming out tomorrow. As I said at the beginning, Board of Life Season 2 is coming out in like a week and a half. We really need you guys to help us when that comes out. Put on social media, all that stuff. We worked really hard on it. We think you're going to like it. So anything you can do to kind of help spread that news would be great and much appreciated on our end. The question this week comes from @Benisashe, I don't know, somebody on Twitter, and they ask, can gaming be a tangible good in the world? Yeah, I mean, like, I think gaming gives people helps people learn qualities, or especially young people learn qualities that add to good in the world, and that, patience and working with others and losing gracefully and winning gracefully. And I think it exercises our minds more than a lot of other activities that we do. That being said, I don't know if it really... I know that we like to think it kind of is this amazing, incredible thing. And it is, and it has a long history, longer than almost any other art form, stuff like that. And that's really cool, and I really like that. But I don't think it does more good than, good films or good music or other things that kind of give you maybe a window into someone else's life or a different way of thinking, or connects you emotionally in a certain way. Not that I think those do a better job. I think they all are just kind of... It does as good as art, because I think board games are art. So art does good in the world. It activates different parts of your mind. It can make you empathetic to things, all sorts of stuff. It can communicate things that other mediums can't as well. So I think it does as much good as art in general does, but I don't think it is particularly better than any of those things. But sure, why not? It does great in the world. It's going to solve every problem we've ever had. All right, that's the news for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.